drop everything, because this is the update you've been waiting for. Skirk is expected to arrive in version 5.7, and while nothing is confirmed yet, the leaks so far have been absolutely insane. This might just be the most exciting Cryo DPS we've ever seen. If you've been saving your Primogems wondering if she's worth it, trust me, you need to hear this. Her kit might just redefine how Cryo DPS works in Genshin Impact, and missing out on these details could be a huge mistake. We're talking about a unique mix of on-field and off-field DPS mechanics, a mirror clone system, and a specialized artifact set that makes her even stronger. If you're thinking about pulling for Skirk, stick around because I'm about to break down everything you need to know. At the heart of Skirk's playstyle is her elemental skill, which summons a mirror image clone that mimics her attacks and inherits her stats. But here's the crazy part. She has two different attack modes to choose from when she activates her skill. Skirk's elemental skill gives her the ability to summon a mirror image clone, which inherits her stats and mimics her attacks. When she activates her skill, she can choose between two different attack modes. The first is a high-speed combat style where Skirk unleashes rapid normal attacks while her clone strikes in sync, creating a relentless melee onslaught. This makes her an aggressive on-field DPS, constantly applying cryo damage. The second mode is more strategic. Skirk and her clone perform a single, high multiplier strike, dealing a massive burst of damage. However, after executing this powerful attack, Skirk is forced to switch out. Even after she leaves the field, her clone continues attacking occasionally, allowing her to function as an off-field burst DPS. This means Skirk's flexibility is unmatched. You can either keep her on field for sustained melee combat, or use her to deliver an explosive nuke before switching to another character. This means Skirk has two playstyles. You can go full melee mode, constantly slashing with her clone, or burst in, deal insane damage, and switch out while her clone does extra damage in the background. Super flexible, right? So far, there's no confirmation that Skirk has a separate elemental burst. But based on how her burst mode attack works, forcing her to swap out, it's very possible that this functions as her burst equivalent. This makes sense because that attack seems to have a massive multiplier, allowing her to deal huge burst damage in one hit before handing the fight over to another character. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Unlike most characters, Skirk is rumored to start with 0 energy by default. However, it's not yet confirmed whether she even needs the energy to function or if she has a special way of generating it. What we do know is that her signature weapon and artifact set seem to be built around this mechanic, suggesting that this is an intentional design choice by Hoyoverse. Until we get official details, this aspect of her kit remains one of the biggest mysteries. Speaking of her artifact set, her signature 2-piece bonus is straightforward. 15% Cryo DMG bonus. Nice and simple, right? But the 4-piece bonus? That's where things get wild. If Skirk's energy is at 0, she gains a massive 60% damage boost, but the way this boost applies depends on how she starts attacking. If she begins with normal attacks, she receives a 60% increase in her normal attack damage. On the other hand, if she starts with a burst-style attack, she gains a 60% boost to her burst damage. However, these buffs do not stack. Once she commits to one attack type, the other buff is locked for 6 seconds. This mechanic means that players will need to carefully plan her attacks to maximize her damage output. As players analyzed her artifact set's mechanics, many initially assumed that Skirk would scale off HP, leading to early speculation and farming of HP percent artifacts. However, updated information suggests that this is not the case. Skirk appears to function as a traditional DPS who benefits most from ATK percent, crit rate, and crit DMG. In other words, stacking HP on her is about as useful as trying to one-shot a Ruin Guard with a level 1 Traveler. It's just not going to work. Prioritizing offensive stats will be key to maximizing her damage potential. So if you've been hoarding HP percent gear for her, well, might be time to let it go. Just like those 5-star goblets with Def as the main stat. There's speculation that one of her constellations might let her summon an additional clone, which could be a game changer for her kit. If true, this would double her cryo application, making her an even bigger powerhouse for reaction-based teams. Having two clones attacking at once would mean near constant cryo uptime, allowing for seamless freeze setups with hydro supports or insane melt damage with pyro allies. Picture this. Skirk dashes in, unleashes her skills, and suddenly you've got a cryo army on the field doing the work for you. If this mechanic makes it into her final design, it could push her into top-tier status for Cryo DPS units. However, we'll have to wait for official confirmation to see just how strong this constellation will actually be. A strong contender for Skirk's best support seems to be a Kefi, an upcoming Cryo Polearm user rumored for version 5.6. She brings consistent off-field cryo attacks through her elemental skill, ensuring reliable cryo uptime for freeze, melt, or superconduct reactions. Her elemental burst isn't just about healing. It provides sustained healing over time, which could be crucial for keeping Skirk alive, especially in her rapid melee combat mode. What makes a Kefi's healing unique is that it scales off her ATK instead of HP, making her a rare type of hybrid healer and sub-DPS. This means she can contribute solid damage while also keeping the team sustained, which is a major advantage in fast-paced combat. But what truly sets a Kefi apart is her staggering negative 45% cryo and hydro resistance shred, one of the strongest resistance reductions in the game. This would allow Skirk's cryo-based attacks to hit even harder, making them more effective in high-damage rotations. Despite their promising synergy, some lingering questions remain. Since Skirk reportedly starts at 0 energy, it's unclear if she'll require additional energy recharge to function optimally, or if a Kefi can supplement her energy needs. Another consideration is the timing of a Kefi's healing. Skirk's burst mode forces her to swap out, so will the healing always be available when she actually needs it? Additionally, a Kefi's strengths seem to be geared toward cryo and hydro team compositions, meaning if you want to run Skirk in an alternative setup, she may not be the most optimal support choice. Until more details surface, their full synergy remains a topic of speculation, but if these mechanics hold true, a Kefi could be a game-changing partner for Skirk. Skirk is shaping up to be a top-tier cryo DPS with a super unique playstyle. Her mirror image clone system, high-speed melee attacks, and powerful burst mode make her a highly flexible unit. If her multipliers are strong, she could easily be one of the best cryo DPS units in Genshin, especially for reaction-heavy teams. But now the real question is, does this version of Skirk's kit match with what you expected? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you made it this far, you're officially a Skirk expert. And comment Cryo Clone Army, so I know you're a real one. And I will meet you in the next one.